the first time I gazed upon you, I knew this would be something. Never felt this way in my life before. 'Cause you're so kind and gentle, never rude or judgmental. Couldn't have been accidental, so happy that you're in my world. They say that this is love. They say it's love that I'm feeling. They say it's love that I'm feeling. Baby, I see something more. I will always be thankful for what Providence has sent me. Though she took her time, she served me right for sure. 'Cause it's well documented, you're my joy represented. Some would say heaven sent this feeling that I can't ignore. They say that this is love. They say it's love that I'm feeling. They say it's love that I'm feeling. Baby, I see something more. They say that this is love. They say it's love that I'm feeling. They say it's love that I'm feeling. Baby, I see something more. They say this is love. They say it's love that I'm feeling. They say it's love that I'm feeling. Baby, I see something more. They say this is love. They say it's love that I'm feeling. They say it's love that I'm feeling. Baby, I see something more. 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 Baby, I see something.
Even though we have no time, I just thought you'd like to move. Yes, my reasons are right. In due time, you'll have to show that your feelings are fine. But I know I had to. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes.
I guess I knew more than most, so I'll save your time and hold back on the wasteful boasting. Loading up on enough food to feed a whole army, but bizarrely it was just me and you. The truth won't set you free. You belong to me.
Yes, you belong to me.
Breathing your last sunlight. Listen with your eyes. The room to walk up right. Best stay down low. No doors, no mirrors, and no windows. Listen to the drone of my feet above. Sweet dreams, my love. I'll be back every Sunday, feeling mundane, drained from my work week. It's me, don't speak. It's me, don't preach. It's me, yes, yes.
Even though we have no time, I just thought you'd like to move. Yes, my reasons are right. In due time, you'll have to show that your feelings are fine. But I know I had to. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Yes, I know.
Yes, let my horn sing my sweet sayonara. I lost my partner, Bonnie and Clyde type psycho bride. Hide out in the cabin, no silence, no rapping. With harsh speech and sharp ears we bleed. So why did you come to me? I was free, you're a freak who learned to leash. I need some space, please let me breathe. 12 hours in isolation, 13th hour penetrating, a strange hibernation. The sun never rises up late, so let's delete your birth date. Babe in your mouth's lake. No hate, no hate, no love, no love, no shame, no shame. Yes, it's just me and my pain. Watch, it's just me and my pain.
Even though we have no time, I just thought you'd like to move. Yes, my reasons are right. In due time, you'll have to show that your feelings are fine.
under the interrogation. It's 12:30, time is no valia hissa. Causing around the world, we live under pressure. Oh, why, it's something that can change, and I know it's gonna rearrange the time, so we can both start living again. Oh, why, it's something that can change, and I know it's gonna rearrange the time, so we can both start living again. In the struggle of this generation fueled by violence, but you turn a blind eye, cause in the outcome you lost in silence. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1, bang, and then we say no more, cause I can always feel the dread outside. Oh, why, it's something that can change, and I know it's gonna rearrange the time, so we can both start living again. Oh, why, it's something that can change, and I know it's gonna rearrange the time, so we can both start living again.
I can't change my skin or where I'm from. We can keep on battling for many generations. We are headstrong and we're stubborn, yeah, and we care for this world. Here we grew up, yeah. Everybody talking about their way, their way. Everybody talking about their time, their time. Everybody talking about their faith, their faith. It's better than yours or mine. Everybody moving to the left, then they running to the right, to the right. Everybody claiming they are MCs and they know what the time is. One world, One world, we can make it better. One world, we can make it better. 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 I was raised on these streets, third, fourth generation. Wanted to be English once, wanted to be British once. I'm a world citizen, London resident, and I care for these streets. Here we grew up strong. Everybody talking about their way. Everybody talking about their time. Everybody claiming their faith is better than yours or mine. Everybody running to the left, then they're running to the right. Everybody claiming they know this shit, and the sunshine from the behind. One world, we can make it better. One world, we can make it better. 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 I hate them, they hate me. This what you gonna teach the children. I don't like them, they don't like us. This what you gonna teach the children. I hate them, they hate me. This what you gonna teach the children. This what you gonna teach the children. This what you gonna teach the children. Or we could. One world, we can make it better. One world, we can make it better. One world, we can make it better. We can make it better. We can make it better. We can make it better.
Girl, you'd call your life one. Not the kind of girl you could bet your life on. More the kind of girl you can't take your eyes from. Not the kind of girl you would take advice on. But when I'm with her, puts my head in a daze. And when they see her, my friends, they all say, what a girl, she'll be gone on the double. That girl, lose you in the shuffle. That girl, she'll be gone on the double. But me, I'm addicted to trouble. What a girl, she'll be gone on the double. That girl, lose you in the shuffle. That girl, she'll be gone on the double. But me, I'm addicted to trouble. I'm addicted to trouble. Guy who always thinks with his head, but when it comes to her, I think we're something else instead. Never been that type who's easily misled, but if she asks me to, I'll do anything she said. If I ain't seen her, I think about her all day. But when I'm with her, my friends, they all say, what a girl, she'll be gone on the double. That girl, lose you in the shuffle. That girl, she'll be gone on the double. But me, I'm addicted to trouble. Well, that girl, she'll be gone on the double. That girl, lose you in the shuffle. That girl, she'll be gone on the double. But me, I'm addicted to trouble. I'm addicted to trouble.
Unbelievable. Shut the bloody door.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a Virtual Night at the Square number 11. Cheers, Little Joe, for putting that mix together. Pressure drop. We threatened that we would have that back. Right, let's just go straight up, click on the button so everybody's here. Don't need my big shaved face. There he is, Little Joe. How you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
All good, all good. And Richard, Steve, Goose?
Yes, all good here as well. Thank you very much for asking.
Evening. Nice one, Joe. Yeah, pressure drop. That was photos and them sounds.
I thought that was one of the more exciting door closing episodes. That one, I enjoyed that one as much as I've enjoyed any of them. I think.
He's started to take it very seriously, Squaddy.
Yeah, there's only so many doors, isn't there? Like, well done, Squaddy. Big up, Squaddy.
It's getting creative. Right, loads to get through on this show. As always, we are going to be joined later by Sam Ashford from Livewire. He's going to be talking about the Livewire youth, young people's community theatre group that he has been running for well over a decade now. Talking about where they came from, what they do, who they are, and also how they've adapted to life during lockdown. And they've got an exciting project that they're launching next week. So he's going to tell us all about that. We have got loads of archive footage, loads of new stuff again. I really liked, even though it's my idea, I'm not bigging myself up, I liked last week having stuff that was new, that was created during the lockdown or released during the lockdown, so new music. So we've got a bit more of that as well. I'll put a shout out on our Facebook page to people. So, Steve?
Assuming you've bought Bill's record?
I haven't bought it yet, but I saw the second.
Pre-ordered mine the other day.
Second song was released. I only got paid yesterday. 26th I get paid, so this is the weekend of looking at all the things.
It's a bit of a bank breaker. I think it's about £7.50 actually.
Not even that. I think it's like $4.99 or something.
That's what I'm talking with postage and packing. That
was. Oh right, yeah, of course.
That's like a rip-off to me. Complete rip-off.
All right, I'll get it.
Pay that much for that shit.
It's on the list. It's in the basket. So yeah, I'll put a shout out on our Facebook page. I felt in a good giving mood, and so a couple of people got in touch with stuff they had done. So we're going to play one of those, just a random kind of thing that I felt like doing, which was good. What else have we got coming up? Oh, we'll do the end of the show poll again. So later on in the show, we'll stick something up. It should flash up on your Facebook video, and you can vote for who's going to play the last song of the evening. This is going to be the last weekly show in this format. 11 weeks we've done this, and Little Joe knows the pubs are going to be open again. People are going back to some kind of normality. As that starts to happen, we're going to start trying to get back to some kind of normality. I don't know. Maybe
it's all right. Quick, that's gone. 11 weeks, really quick. That's 11 weeks closer to the grave, isn't it?
It is.
When we started.
But it's also making sure.
Cheery goose.
July 5th of Sunday.
So are you all ready for that? Got everything in place up there in Cambridge?
No, we'll blag it. Fine. All good.
That's the pressure drop way.
We just will carry a 2 metre rule with us. We'll be fine.
So you're going to be selling off all your old beer that's gone out of date?
Well, obviously.
He's always done that.
That's all Nuki Brown, isn't it? So they're pretty much the same thing.
Isn't it one now, Joe? Is it 1 metre or 2 metres? It's all so confusing, isn't it?
It's a one-ish.
One-ish, is it?
As more as you can, it's a 1+, didn't they? You said about brownies. You let brownies into your pub, Joe? Did you say?
Is that an official measurement, Joe? It's 1-ish. Is it an ish or a 1? What is it? 2? 2 ishes?
It's 1 metre plus. It's called, which means absolutely nothing. Really.
I'd say, Joe, if you've got your stick, if you swing it and you hit them, they're too close.
That's it. Yeah.
They say if you can do two, don't they? I think most people would try and do that, but I mean, who knows? Who cares?
But so, die anyway. As that kind of, as we try to be positive towards some kind of getting back to normality, I think we will do a monthly one and we'll post on
Fine,
here.
normal.
We'll post on here. But I'd like to get to a point where we can look at going to watch bands not on a screen again. So anyhow,
Shake, so we know it's going back to normal.
I have shaved. You know what? That was 3 solid months, and it was horrible. anyhow.
But it's not putting something together, Smithy. That's cool.
I know a lot of people will.
Yeah, it's actually well done. It's not been easy sticking this together every week, is it? Yakking on talking bullshit for an hour and a half.
No. Yeah, no. Well done to all of you for
I
being
change it, Rich.
But
it's something
Boom,
been
boom.
something to look forward to on a Saturday evening as well. So well done, and well done for everyone tuning in as well. You know, big up all you lot. Miss you all. You know, one day we'll hook up again and have a little party. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
As soon as we're allowed to, everyone's going to be doing as much as they can. But I think a pressure drop reunion in Harlow as well. I know since you won that competition and came on screen, and I said, we should try and get Joe to do a pressure drop intro. Loads of people have been saying we need pressure drop.
No, please, no. That's what
But that's great. So some of them very quickly before I go on to the next bit. Joe, some of them people that you chose, Newtown Kings, Barbar Luck, Mouthwash, Talawa. They were all great nights, all great people, all nice people to work with, were they? You dealt with them a lot more than me most times.
Yeah, all the people there was all the bands that we had on in the, well, not all of them, but a good selection of the ones we did have on. You know, Good Nights Bubba Luck was always brilliant, or Uncle Barber as he became known. Newtown Kings, always a pleasure. Lost our friend Stuart, the guitar player this year, bless him.
Yeah, it was awful, that was.
Newtown Kings become good friends. Actually, that song was actually recorded that video was recorded at Boomtown Fair, where we put a stage on with Last Gang in Town at the Devil Kicks Dance Hall, now called Hangar 161. We'll just give a little thing on there. There we go.
Big up Al and Laura.
Yeah, big up Alec and Laura from Last Game Town. But yeah, they've become really good friends, and it's good that tiny little thing we used to do in Harlow became something we do for fun, and also it's all good. Just try and keep it going if we can.
As soon as we're allowed, I think let's get some in the comments if you want to see Pressure Drop doing something back in Harlow, whether it be in a pub, in a garden. Maybe, do I dare say Town Park? I don't know. Let's see what we can do. If you want to see that happen, then shout out Little Joe in the comments, and we'll get some enthusiasm going. Let's get Joe back to Harlow. Cool. Right, nice one, Joe. Thank you very much. Right, we are going to have a bit of a music break now, and then after that, we're going to be joined by Sam Ashford from Livewire. This music, a bit of nostalgia, but also last week's I've written down loser, but it wasn't loser. When we done the poll for who should end, exactly, especially with where he is now. So last week we've played out Chaz and Dave at the end, coming runner up in that poll, but obviously gone on to do really good stuff. This is George Ezra. Enjoy.
I feel the tears run too long. When I hold you, then I won't let go. Why should we care for what they're selling us anyway? So young girl, you know. I would touch you if you fall like that. Tell me enough. I hate to hear that you're feeling low. I hate to hear that you won't come home.
She always laughed and I cried my tears. And I said, oh, this is love. But what good was that to us? There was only one way to go, and it was down. I'm scared, 'cause I've lost everything in the world. I'm scared, scared, 'cause every time I go every time I dare, I go can't you see that I'm scared? Oh, I nearly made it to Geneva, but then Lisa wrote and told me not to come. And I didn't see why she didn't think that much of me, but there was only one way to go, and it was down. I'm scared. Every time I care, I go can't you see that I'm scared? Cheers. You know,
So there we go, a bit of music there, kicking off with George Ezra, and that last one was a band called Sleep from 90 or 91, I think it said. If anyone knows much more about them, I'd be interested. I quite like that. I don't know if it was Mac or whether Martin Norris was booking by then, but if anyone knows anything about those, let us know. And the Otway band there, Richard, that was like a professionally shot music video.
It was. We did a few tracks. It was quite early on, I think. Actually, well, judging by the amount of hair that Muzz has got, and
and you, the hair's been commented on by a few people. Russell Hardy's hair today.
Well, I think I just washed it that day, so I should remember the date because that only happened twice. But it was very early on in the big band's life to start. That must have been 93 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, 93. Yeah, that's on that available on the DVD. Otway the movie director's cut box set.
Yeah,
just doing your pitch for you there. We are joined by Sam Ashford from Livewire. Sam.
Hello, Sam.
Hello, guys.
How's it going?
Right? Yeah,
good.
It's all surprisingly well. Surprisingly well. Yeah, we're doing all right. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on. Well done, you guys, for keeping it going every week. It's been really good. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, nice one. Good to have you. So Livewire, very briefly, a lot of local people will know, but there's people I know watching from further afield. What is Livewire? What do you do? Who are you? Why do you do it? How long have you been doing it? And what's it got to do with you being on the Square show?
Right, I'll tell you what. We've got a really early connection. Livewire basically is a charity that was set up in 2004, where we began in 2001, and it's for young people. So we put on free drama, dance, and music workshops in the evenings throughout the week and school holidays, and we try and reach the parts that you try and reach young people who might not always want to join the big theatre schools and things. We try and get anybody to come along. So it's a social kind of thing, but also that we like to think that the sessions are run by highly skilled professionals. So it's like high quality youth work in a sense, but really creative and lots of drama. And the link, it started back with Pete the Meat, 2001, Pete Brown, when he was working for Harlow Children Young People's Services, which isn't there anymore. That doesn't exist. Part of the cult.
It's not needed anymore, is it?
He approached. No, because kids don't need anything to do these days. And if they do want something to do, they can bloody well pay for it. So Pete approached the theatre company I was working with at the time, Theatre Active, wanted to start a youth theatre. They had 3 kids to work with, and we started working with those on. I was only about 12 myself, and as I was very young when it started, and we've been going for 20 years. And in the last couple of years, we've expanded to not just being on a Monday night, but to have sessions throughout the week for a variety of age groups, not just drama, but also dance. We've got the LDC, which is called the Livewire Dance Company, and the LMC, the Livewire Music Collective. And there's a lot of crossover with Rock School there with the Music Collective, because they really kindly donate a space for those sessions. And we do songwriting, because we think it's really important. A lot of our work, everything we do is original or made up. And so we think it's really important that music writing is still taught. The Square's not there anymore, and it's really frustrating because we've got all these really talented musicians and songwriters, and we haven't got that venue for them anymore, which you guys know all too well. But so
don't get me on that one.
Give us a space. Oh mate, it's
don't.
I drive around that roundabout over and over again, just sobbing.
Well, don't worry too much, brilliant. Sam. I'm sure they're building a new one in the Wych Elm development.
That's an in-joke that I don't know about.
It's just a... But
in the room, folks. Back in the room.
Yeah, so I mean, in the last year of the Square, we hosted you on those evenings as well when we had reconfigured and we moved the stage. But I remember working with you on a few performances when it was in a traditional setup as well, where we would just have a performance on, and people would be like, a theatre show at the Square, and we'd be like, yeah, why not? Just do it. But that seems like your kind of attitude was just like, give us a space and we'll do something.
Yeah, definitely. We've never got any budget And so it's kind of like we've never got any set, but what we have got is really talented and enthusiastic young people who just want to be creative and put something on and just sort of dispel the myth about young people being lazy and inarticulate and without sort of educated thought. You know, they just want to prove people wrong all the time, and all you need to do is provide a space physically and a space emotionally for them to do it, and that's what Livewire does. And the Square is really helpful with that, you know, because we did put on these performances, and it's a little bit off the beaten track, and we're a little off the beaten track as well. I think, you know, it's like we're like the we're like the Goonies, you know, or something like that, you know. And so it was nice to perform at the Square. The floors were suspiciously sticky and
nothing to do with me. Not guilty. Not guilty.
Deliciously sticky.
Because of beer.
It wasn't goose fat. There's no goose fat here.
But it was it's
not only that, Sam, but the shows were actually brilliant. I've been on quite a few of the shows myself, actually, and I have to say that you when people hear of groups like this, you know, it's a load of kids getting together, kids who wouldn't normally do this kind of thing, you immediately assume that you have to make a lot of allowances and go, you know, oh bless them. But they're actually top quality shows. Right. You really turned out some good stuff.
Well, we're going to have a look now then.
Daughter was great, didn't she?
Yeah, she weren't bad.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Live for a long time.
Well, it was always.
Richard, have you ever thought of attending one of their classes?
So there was always there was a crossover of personnel. Obviously, yeah, Richard's daughter, and I worked on a few bits with you, and then loads of our bar staff at the Square, people like Kylan and etc. There's just like an interweb of people. We're going to have a look now then at one of your previous songs. So encouraging original music and original writing, original performance. We're going to have a look at that, and then a bit of a music break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Livewire in lockdown and what has been happening there.
Brilliant.
All good. Cool. Right.
Brilliant.
Everybody. And then also, Sam, start chucking in the comments now where people can find out more about Livewire and how they can get involved in supporting it. Cool. All right.
All right, Whiskey. Thank you.
See you in a bit. This is, what was this song? This was the Livewire, the previous one. Stop.
This is called Stop Me From Talking. This was filmed at the Playhouse.
Perfect.
First of all, you
I know you think we're pretty thick. I took a bunch of pikeys from the sticks. Don't fool me with your answer crown, your Oxford hair and your trendy sound. You don't fool me with your answer crown, and you're going nowhere, going nowhere. You wouldn't last a minute from where I come from. The people there know a con is a con is a con. And it ain't all about just the way you look, the clothes you wear and the drugs you took. It ain't all about just the way you look, and you're going nowhere, going nowhere. I know you're much better looking than me. Another face on the pages of the enemy. But you don't fool me with your Instagram, your Hoxton hair and your trendy sound. Don't fool me with your Instagram, and you're going nowhere, going nowhere, going nowhere, going nowhere.
So there we go, a quick music break there with a Len Price 3 and Delays as well. And before that, Livewire with Stop Talking, which was a cue for me, I think.
Stop me from talking.
I need to hear it as well.
It's called Stop Me From Talking. Yeah, no, it's a quite a song written by young people. That was part of a show we did last summer. It was the first time we got funding from the Arts Council, which is like a massive deal for us. We are a tiny organisation, so to get that was incredible. And yeah, that whole show was about it was called How Do We Start Again, and it was about human rights when we're trying to rebuild society, event that changes society forever. You know, funny. You know, we're weirdly 6 months ahead of what's going on. So that was part of that, and that was about young people knowing the right answer but no one listening, which is so often the case. And you know, there's lots of people involved in that. If you don't mind me saying, Smithy,
no, go for it.
Who's involved in Livewire, just so people know that we're out there. It's not just me going, let's play some games. Well, it is something, but we run sessions from the Playhouse. We donate space. Burnt Mill donate space. Passmore's donate space. Pemberley Academy. We run all sessions from all those places. And if they didn't give us that space for free, like the Square did, we wouldn't exist because the funding's not there. And we never want to charge anyone a single penny to come take part in anything. It's got to be free. It's got to be maximum access, you know. Cosmic Audio, we do some work with them, which is great. We've got a little list down here. Rock School, of course, we've mentioned before. And it's worth mentioning two other guys I work with who they're just wonderful human beings. And we've got a habit of working with wonderful human beings, like yourself, Smithy, who wrote one of my favourite Livewire songs of all time called Oh My God, It's Gone Viral.
I thought was that another one preempting the current situation?
Yeah, and for some reason, the kid on the keyboard was enjoying it so much. He said, "Can I wear a cape?" And me and you were like, "Yes,
they were brilliant.
You can wear a cape." Oh my God, it's gone viral. Yeah. But Steve Cody, who a lot of people will know, he runs the Livewire Music Collective, and he would have been responsible for teaching a lot of people guitar. I think I'm right in saying, you know, bands like Morning Parade and The World on Fire might not look the same without that guitar teaching from Steve Cody. I think I know taught a lot on guitar, so you know, he's right there at the core of it, of a lot of what's going on, Harlow. And we've got a former student as well, from the very beginning, Becky Gentry, who's collective and company, and she came at the very beginning of Livewire, and it's brilliant to have her come back and now leading a new group which she's going to take on into the future. You've got to stop me from talking because I will just.
Sam, just one question I want to ask. Sam, the money you got, the funding, that funded money, what did you do with it? Because if it was me, I'd have bought a new motor and spunked it on a new motor and some Charlie. What did you do with it? Just out of interest.
I don't know, but I can tell you, I am speaking to you from Barbados.
You got a new scooter because you got a new scooter, didn't you? All of a sudden.
So the current
wisely, good man.
The current situation is that you can't meet in Birkmill Academy, Parsons Academy, Pemberley Academy, or the school.
No.
So we've very quickly all had to adapt to this online thing. How has that worked for Livewire?
Yeah, I mean, it's a worry at the start, and there's a lot of what we do is sort of reinforces and stabilises young people's mental health. So to suddenly lose that contact with them is really worrying for all of us. So we had to do something. So the Arts Council put forward an emergency COVID-19 response fund, and we applied, which is what Goose is talking about. We got some money, which kept 3 artists employed, myself, Steve and Becky, and we were able to reach out to all of our young people online. And what we've done, rather than doing the theatre challenge where we get together and we make up a play with several songs and dances and 50, 60, 70 young people involved, we've done it all online, and we've created a film, and it's called Lockdown. And so we've devised the story. I wrote a script and then took it back to them. We adjusted it. Steve wrote the music with the band, and Becky with the dancers, all separately. So, you know, what was I saying? Sort of like, you know, we're socially distant, but we're creatively together still. And so next Friday, we're putting our very first feature film, and it's a feature film. It's 2 hours long, and I've watched it 8 times just to keep checking things and changing things. And I'm continually entertained and blown away by these guys' performances, because they're working on their own. You know, we'll have these Zoom sessions where we rehearse and practice things, and then they go away and they record their bits, and they often send me things in portrait, and I go, no, shoot it in landscape, and then they send it back to me, and it's a huge job, and we've got, you know, other people helping, like Kyle and Adams and Adam Jeffries and Harry Howe mixing. It's great. I'm so excited about it, and we're going to show a trailer, aren't we, Smith?
Excellent.
Yeah, we're going to have a preview of that. But it sounds brilliant, and it's almost like it's one of those things where it's forced you into doing that, because if things hadn't have changed, if we hadn't been locked down, you'd be doing the same sessions, doing the same things. And it's almost like going back to Attila the stockbroker the other week, who would still be going out and doing his gigs and wouldn't think to himself, at some point I need to get to grips with the internet. And it's almost forced you into doing something.
Well, yeah, I mean, part of the funding was to get us actually the equipment to do it, because the computer I was using previously would not have lasted, and you know, we needed some iPads to give to some of the young people to use and record back, and you know, things like that, and just having the infrastructure and training us up so that in the future we can continue to do things like this. So you'll see when we come together in the summer in some shape or another, which I'll announce in the coming weeks. It'll be a mixture of small groups working together and also online, and bringing those things together, trying to ease young people back into working with other young people. You know, not too much, not too soon.
Yeah,
1 meters.
It's great. And so we're going to have a music break now.
Hang on, mate.
So we're going to see the promo then from Lockdown. And when is it? When's it happening? Next Friday?
We'll be very
Where have we got to be, Sam, next Friday?
So
frozen again.
Next Friday on YouTube. Oh, we're frozen again. Oh, well, I'll keep.
No, it's called chuck all the links in the comments.
No, we're gone.
And no, you're still there. Chuck them all in the comments, and in the lead up to next Friday, we'll share it all through the Square page as well.
Wicked. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us on.
Cool, nice one. Right, so and in fitting with this kind of theme, we're gonna have a quick music break again, but all this music is all stuff that has been again created within this lockdown situation. You're going to hear some new music now, no Square nostalgia. This is all new stuff, including a couple of bands who have said to me that had the lockdown not happened, had the Square still be standing, they would be banging at our door asking for gigs. And when I listened to them, I thought, you know, these are bands that would have been given a gig at the Square. So I'll tell you who they are afterwards. But nice one, Sam. Do you want to introduce your clip?
So this is our trailer for Lockdown, 7 o'clock next Friday on YouTube. Please show some support for some brilliant young people from Harlow. Thank you.
Hey, they say you don't want it till you can't have it. At times feel like it's turning into a habit. Now it's not in your sight, yeah, you just can't hack it. Miss chilling out with your friends, making a racket. Now I don't blame you, sitting inside it. Really can't blame you, missing on all your friends. Defo don't blame you, can't wait for it all to gives us something to cherish the time we spend.
But I never knew how my life could change forever. This is your time and your chance, 'cause you won't see what's around the corner.
Standing on the edge of the well, investigating minds getting miles away. Some might claim that there's no future, and all the reaping that we sow ain't always negative. We're sniffing the truth away beyond the transcendental waves of the peaking soul. Well, everybody needs a game. Since our beds are claimed such a modern game, still the fallacy continues. Not so far, just a million miles away. Not so far, just a million miles away. We're gonna feel it on the countdown. Drifted on a turn, just a run. Another generation molds, another reappears. Feeling change, can feel like danger. This fear just disappears beyond a relative. Well, if you got a rubber soul, losing self-control, don't even matter. Remember like a fast car, 20 laps ahead, approaching reason. We'll still the fallacy continues. Not so far, just a million miles away. Not so far,
up telephone. Do you remember them? Things were different when we used to run home for our tea. And your mom would shout because your dad went out for that sleep. Because you played the fool, you were the first at school to kiss the girl from down our way. So grab your paper cup and we gonna hook up today. Do you remember them? Things were different when we used to run home for our tea. And your mom would shout because your dad went out for that sleep. Because you played the fool, you were the first at school to kiss the girl from down our way. So grab your paper cup and we gonna hook up today.
It's as real as the air we breathe. We were lost, broken, it's over. How can we feel like heroes when we're lost inside self-doubt and our world just shows us zero?
I told my mother that she needs to get some rest. She said, how can I when we're being choked to death? The top of the chain won't out. We're not part of the social class. And every promise that they make just seems to break as everyone's better glass.
When you've been broken and all has been stolen, there's not much else to fade away. Where was the poison? You feel you're choking. Just breathe and see the light in the day. This event stuff come from heaven. They have to be a dear on earth. Magically a buried for the rich to take. I know my values, I know my place. I know the side that my fight will be. It's the struggle of the working class. We say that's been done in honesty.
Maybe there won't be sun. Maybe there'll only be rain. We can live in the darkness, but the final light somewhere.
Living a world with sun. Living alone in the rain. We can live in the darkness, and the final light somewhere.
Or shut up.
We are live. It's almost, we should have a separate camera for the green room as well. We should do a separate feed for a backstage chat. I couldn't hear what you guys were. I've got no idea what you guys were talking about because I had the music as well going on, or not possibly. Yeah. So there we go. Some brand new music that's also all been released during the lockdown. So Mike Lenson band kicked that off. Their new single was released yesterday. The Veras, a few people in the comments were asking about those. That is, we had Matt from the Small Fakers on a few weeks back. That's their new single. So the Small Fakers have got a new band, all the same people, but doing original songs. That was the Veras. And that latest one, Our North. So Sam from the band got in touch. He said they're a 5-piece metalcore band from Yorkshire, but he's originally from Harlow and moved up that way about 10 years ago. And again, obviously, that's, you know, if they got in touch with Square and dropped an email saying, you know, our singer lived in Harlow, we've got this band. I mean, Mark Adams and Ross, etc., they would have been all over that. They no doubt would have been a band that would have been playing on our stage. And yeah, thanks for Sam from Livewire. I think that's some for people who didn't know what Live was about.
It does look quite interesting what they ended up doing. As you were saying, the creativity limitations have meant that they've come up with some new form of creativity, which is good. So, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
I want to see that. I'm quite enthusiastic about watching that because I was saying to Sam, you know, the live shows that I went to see were great. High quality was just so high. So I'm expecting great things from this film.
So Sam's put the link in the comments. He's putting there Livewire. Do a search for Livewire Theatre, and you'll find where to see that. And yeah, it's forced us into doing stuff that we wouldn't normally do. For example, I'm not sponsored, but there's a brewery in Harlow who now deliver to your door. So I've adapted to being in this lockdown situation.
And that's it. Yeah, well, I mean, you're just one small example of the great efforts people have been making. Smithy.
So it's really good stuff there that people, the music, you know, Livewire, what they're doing, and bands as well, were still being creative. But you know, Al North there, that last band said he dropped me a line and said, you know, that their plans for the year are basically gone out the window, but they're going to release music, they're going to do videos like that if they can. Still try and reach people, and for a lot of bands it would have been a write-off. The touring year's gone out the window. The touring diary has probably all just gone back a year. But if you can be creative and do stuff online, more power to you. Get out there and reach the people.
Are we live at the moment? It's just us talking. Is it? We just.
No, I didn't put on my professional voice to talk just to us. Yeah, we're live.
But are we live at the moment?
Yeah.
Or is it just us?
Yeah.
Oh, are we?
You should notice that, Goosey. Stop swearing all the time, every other word. We're actually, taking out some inspiration from these Square sessions in the Hot Rods, actually, and we decided that we're going to try and put together a sort of monthly little session on the same basis as this, just to sort of keep in touch with people who follow the band, because we've now accepted that we're not going to be gigging at all this year. We've, I mean, I don't know if that's news to you, Mr. Promoter, in October, but it looks as if you know, we're going to be restarting again in spring next year. So we're going to.
Don't count on that.
We're going to adapt as well, and we're going to try and do a little monthly show like this just to keep in touch with people.
It's well worth, and any bands out there, it's well worth doing, even if it's. So the Damned is one I've been. The Damned do. Got a damn show. They do. It's got a little jingle with it, but the Damned have been doing a show, and they just chuck out something out, and so at least 3 episodes of it have been home gardening with Paul Gray. And if you've got fans who are interested as you as people, you don't need all the technology to be able to play at home and record songs. You know, it's great that these guys can do that. Yeah. But you are all people as well in bands. People, if you've got fans, they're interested in who you are as well and what you do. What are you doing with your time?
We're going to have bricklaying with Dipster.
And the other thing,
resin flooring techniques with Basher Bowley.
Perfect.
Oh, not to be missed.
I can do the gardening bit.
I mean, the other thing with the gigs is, I mean, we still don't, even though in theory they're easing off in July, aren't they? I mean, there's still no word on gigs, and there's still
It's all over the place. It's all
At the moment,
over.
we're still looking at September.
You see, you have to remember the virus hasn't gone away. The heat is subduing it. When the cold weather comes again, it will kick off because it hasn't gone away. And I guarantee, coming December, January, February, we'll be back in the same situation this year. And we'll be on a lockdown again March next year. And don't. I'm just saying, don't believe 2021 is going to be different. We might have a repeat until they get the vaccination for it, because just, you cannot assume this time next year it's all going to be
I want to be
normal.
optimistic, but I've got to say,
I am optimistic as well, but
once I'm not going to argue with you, Goose.
Oh fuck! Come on, Richard, don't let me down, bruv. That's
Okay,
what we do. No, but yeah,
I'm going to do a
be
Google.
careful. Just stay off the beaches, you fucking tossers.
I'm going to. Maybe I'll start planning and buy myself a better computer for downloading all these videos and putting shows together. Anyway, right, we are going to run over, just so people are watching who are expecting us to finish at 9 o'clock. It's not happening, as always. Talk, and this is where we are. But anyway, we have got another music section. So this was something I actually put together for last week, but again ran out of time. But we're going to go way back in the day. And Steve, there's a young Steve Harcourt's going to appear in this clip somewhere.
Yes, please tell me he's pissed.
I believe
You probably will be.
I was quite pissed, I think, from what I can remember.
Quite pissed, yes, Steve.
This is the band that basically Brian Saunders, the legendary Brian Saunders.
Well, don't give away too much. Don't give away too much until the people see
I was
it.
going to talk about his previous past.
Oh well, I'll tell you what. A couple of the clips from this segment are from On a Friday, which I've been raiding the archives of On a Friday, and it does come up with some captions. So have a look, and Steve, you can fill in all the gaps and all the questions that people might have, the burning questions
I
after
think
that.
there'll be quite a few questions, yeah.
And then, and what I'll do is during this segment now, I'm going to throw up the poll for you to decide who we end the show on. So, right, yeah, a little bit of a music and comedy break this time.
What, my band's the comedy?
You're the comedy, Steve.
Let the audience decide which part of this is funny. Okay, but kicking this off, someone asked for this. Oh look, I'm missing my things. Sorry, I'm trying to cram in as much as I can because happy anniversary to Tracy and Graham. I missed that, and I'm really sorry, but I didn't have any Carter USM lined up. But next time, when we next do a show, there'll definitely be Carter on it because that's well long overdue. And what was the other thing that I was going to say? Oh yeah, the price. Pam asked for the price weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Anyone remember the price?
Yeah, I remember the price. There should probably be very much footage of the price, won't there?
There won't be much of it, but I found some. So Pam, kicking off this musical segment, especially for you, the price.
Time and again, little girls like to comedy giant Phill Jupitus.
I was listening to Classic FM the other day, and what is that? What is that? Yeah, it is. That's right. Vivaldi. You know, it was but I was loving it. Fantastic.
Call for us to pick up the old Kent Road over.
Que pasa? I'm thinking to myself, they've remixed this. Check the version. And it's a cab company in southeast London. The fact that they got a radio astonished me, you know, because it's normally bean tins and string, you know. Pull it a bit tighter, 3-4, you're breaking up. 3-4. 3-4, too much slack, 3-4, too much slack. Oh shit. I was thinking about the whole, you know, radio, from the Latin radio, going in all directions out from a central point. Radio goes north, south, east, west, also goes up 50 miles more. So at some point, of course, this is going to happen.
Mission Control. This is Astronaut Jackson here. We are shortly about to install the Eclipse module for viewing on Wednesday morning. The optical alignment has been corrected, so we think we're going to be a go on that mission on Wednesday morning. Could you respond, Mission Control, if we can clear to the shuttle now? Over. Yeah, it's a pick up in Ilford. Mission Control, this is Astronaut Jackson again. Could you possibly clarify the last command, Mission Control? Over. Stop me about, Barry! I've got 2 Billy Bunters in Ilford who want to go to Lakeside.
More of Stereo 11 Part 2, but now we've got a new section to On a Friday, where every week we'll be raiding the archives and taking a look at some of the best acts from the square in years gone by.
Emotion I feel no
It's like, yeah, we're back live, but we're just discussing the perfect thing. And Claire and Dan at Philby are on asking what Saunders is up to now. Goose, you know the best about that.
I could give you. I went to see him Thursday night in London, and he's working in a livery company called the Apothecaries, which is a livery company whereby it deals with all like chemistry and drugs and stuff like that. And we actually stood in the very room, and there's a picture of it where Cardinal Wolsey officially divorced Catherine of Aragon from Henry VIII. And I stood right by the very fireplace where this all took place at the Apothecaries Hall in London. That's where he's now works as full-time as the Beadle.
Brian Saunders of Exile fame.
Yeah.
He was so old, he was probably there when.
Yeah, he probably was there when Wolsey and Catherine of Aragon were in the room. But it was amazing building.
He's probably a beagle now then.
But Steve,
Rich?
He's a real beagle now.
Yeah, full on Beadle. Yeah, not Beadle. Full on, full time at the Apothecaries, and it just suits him down the ground. He loves it. His knowledge of all that sort of thing is just amazing. Yeah, I've always said every time I've gone out with Brian anywhere, you always learn something new from him. He's fantastic bloke, very clever, and he's just right into his shoes that fit him well in this job, and it's fantastic. Yeah.
But Steve, that band, that was post-Exile Bomberz. And there was a young Steve Harcourt on the bass.
Brian had done Exile with Colin and before that Shimon on drums, and then it took the two Chris's, Redman and basically that was his sort of that was in 91, I think. And so basically there's like James Reed from Salamander's Dream and Fat Dragon and everything else that they went on to, and a couple other people we knew from college. And I would have been about 16, 17. So that was pure cheese.
You was about 50 then when you were rich. Was you 50 then when Steve was
we recorded our first demo in the Square on the R8 reel-to-reel track with Bill Glass engineering.
Blimey.
Yeah.
Good old Bill Glass.
Goose, Claire and Dan Philby over the other side of the world. They said thank you for letting them know that you've made their breakfast time.
Can you ask Claire when we're going to do showering with Claire Philby in the mornings?
I wasn't sure.
Tell her I'll wash her back. Claire, I'll wash your back for you, sweet cheese. I know it's a very hairy back from what I heard, but that's life.
He's called him a beagle as well.
Well, yeah,
Beadle. A beadle was. Sorry to say one.
I'm confused because I thought they were talking about their breakfast bagels.
Harry Seacombe in Oliver was a beadle.
Does he have to wear a thing, Goosey?
He does all that stuff. The Lord Mayor shows. He does all the court stuff. Like he's actually when I saw him for Thursday. He's actually going to get me in on one of the dinners where he does the whole ceremony stuff. But he's amazing at it. It's classic. He's fucking brilliant, really good, and he's good. He loves it because he loves it. He just I can't say really.
Good on him. Anyone from my era known as Brian Bush, and he was always a character, but I'm glad he's somewhere where he's happy. Richard, maybe for you this question. Suzanne's asking, how far back have you got videos of the Square? And she was saying that she was in Blue Summer around '85, did 2 rock contests. Videos going back that far?
I don't know if I have, but it'll be in our series of rock contest videos.
Do you remember that far? Because 85, I was just
I
about
remember
being
Blue
born.
Summer. I think Christina and Dave Dogg and were in Blue Summer as well. And I had a feeling Claire Klim might have been in Blue Summer, but I might be wrong. She'll tell me that it's
Suzanne can tell us.
Yeah, Suzanne can tell us. Of course. But it was I remember Blue Summer. Oh, hold on, was Mac in Blue Summer?
No, that was Blue Egypt by the Pharaohs.
No. I had a funny thing. They had a bit of a brass section going or something. I might be confused. I usually am. But,
Suzanne, please let us know. Let us know.
Oh, a bit of brass, can you? Let's be honest. A bit of brass.
And Pam, I'm glad you enjoyed the price there. I like it. As we were just saying to Steve, the last time the Price played at the Square, I actually booked them to support the Neurotics before I started playing with the Neurotics. So at least 2006, I think. Well, 2007 was my first Neurotics gig. So yeah, that's the last time the Price ever played at the Square. We did try.
Yeah. That was.
And Richard, probably again one for you. Pam asked, I've lost it now. Where is it? Oh, do you know the story of Phill Jupitus at the Live Essex show and the Dope Cakes? Right, 1991.
Yes.
Cast your memory. Is it a story that needs to be told?
Sorry?
Is it a story that needs to be told?
Oh yeah. It could have been. When you said, "Do I know the story of Phill Jupitus?" Then you'll be, "What is it next?" But the Dope Cakes, yeah, that was. We were all me and Otway were always up at the Edinburgh Festival in those days. We used to do the whole run, and that year we were joined by a disco going.
No, it's off. No, my disco's off.
Oh.
I turned it down.
Strange.
Hang on, I'm going to mute and have a look around. I might have a disco ghost in here, which I'd fucking love to have. I'd love to have a disco ghost in here.
And we were very pleased to find that Harlow had, Essex had a show that went up there as well. The Live Essex show, which was Phill Jupitus, Murray Tilkerton, what's her name, who had the ironing board? Everyone's good at cooking something. I'm good at cooking crumble. What's her name? She was very funny. Anyway, it was a lot of Essex comedians, and someone baked. I think she baked a load of dope cakes and left them in the flat they were all sharing. And Phill Jupitus, being a kind of high maintenance man in terms of his bulk, ate them all.
Is that the way you say it?
Rendered him pretty much incapable of doing anything useful, including the show that evening.
I hope that story matches up with what Pam was suggesting. Anyway, brilliant. Look, we are running over. We knew we was going to run over anyway. We have got to the end of our show. This is going to be the last show in this format. We need to take a break. It's been 11 shows, been brilliant. Thank you everybody for joining us for these 11 weeks on the trot, looking back at what the Square was all about, and also looking forward though about what bands are doing now and what we would be supporting and what we are still supporting. We are still supporting live music, live creativity, young people, comedians, poets, musicians, old people, whoever. Lorraine Bowen.
That was it. Yeah.
All of that, and thank you for everybody tuning in, because you make it worth it. Because if we were to do this and look and there was one person watching, that would be me watching back to make sure. But you're all here, and you make it worthwhile.
Viagra, all of them. You're better than Viagra, a lot of you.
Claire, it's all coming in now because there's a bit of a delay. You see, when we say something, it's a delay for you to see it. Lorraine Bowen, Iron and Bald Woman, went on to do Britain's Got Talent a couple of years ago. She's still teaching.
That's her.
So that's her. Yeah, thank you very much. We'll probably once a month maybe. I was gonna next week should be our summer party, the 4th of July, which coincides with the anniversary of when us guys, the four of us, took over the running of the Square with Dan Moriarty at the time as well, and we put on our first ever gig. Basically, the Square was being let to go by Essex County Council. Us four and Dan got together, took it over. I get every year I get the Facebook notification saying on this day, and in the run up to it, it's me saying I've got tickets for the Square. We're reopening. Wilco Johnson, £10. Meet you at the Hare if you want some. And because we didn't have a box office, we weren't in the venue. It was literally that place closed one week. we open the next. And I was going down the Hare, Richard was going down to the Crown or other pubs, and we had tickets and we were sending them saying, please come to our gig. Wilco Johnson played that first night, 4th of July. It was going to be a fantastic celebration next week at the Rugby Club. It's not going to happen. I am, however, though, we are still, however, though, raising funds to put on a party in the town park when we're allowed to. There's a link in this thing here. We're about...
I'm going to have a party next week.
Just
anyway,
even
just here in my house.
That a week.
Celebrate that because
on your own, Richie.
It was a marvellous, momentous, and wonderful day when we reopened the square again.
Richie, are you going to have a party on your own?
It might not be on my own.
No, I'm just saying because, like, normally if you invite people to party, it still normally ends up on your own, doesn't it? In the phone box.
We're going to.
I love you. You know I love you. You know I love you, really, don't you? You know that.
We're still raising money on our GoFundMe. I've started to try and push it on social media because I've been a bit, I don't know, I'm rubbish at asking people for money even when I've got something to tell them. But when we get to £1,000, we're just over £200 away from that. When we get to £1,000, we're going to do a live draw, and the winner wins a brand new pair of Dr. Martin boots, which a friend of ours, Liz, is going to customise with some square artwork on there for you. I'm trying to cram in as much stuff before we go. What else are we doing? Yeah, look, it's going to be one big party when we can do it. Okay, so we have been running a poll. Top Loader versus Wheatus were your choices tonight. I know for some of you, you'll be thinking, God, big hitters. But if you consider, actually, both those bands had international smash hits.
One-hit wonders, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Well, this is a good point. No, it's a good point because actually, both of these songs that I've chosen are the other hit from both bands.
Cool.
So it's not Teenage Dirtbag and it's not Dancing in the Moonlight.
Thank God.
But our winner, right? I'm going to play the clip. Let's do our goodbyes, parting comments from you guys.
Love you all, Squareites, and see you
a couple
again
of weeks'
soon.
time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Keep an eye on.
Stay 2 meters apart and don't go to the fucking beaches, for Christ's sake. We'll be in this boat again this time next year. Seriously, coronavirus hasn't gone away. It's still there. Get ready.
Look, I've got my Squarecaster.
Oh,
Mine's
quick,
en route,
Richard, quick,
bass,
shout.
my jazz bass.
What is it, Richard? What is that you've got? Quick.
This is my Square Barcaster. It's come back to me, having been beautifully put together by Murray and, very more recently repaired by Murray, I should say. And there it is.
What is it?
Lovely.
Tell people. What do you mean? What is it? It's a guitar? What's special?
It's made of the bar at the Square. This is
The
a
bar
guitar
was
which is
bigger than
made
that at
of
the
the
Square.
bar at the Square, which is why it is a Square Barcaster, and it's one of, how many is it, Smithy? 11?
Brett will tell you.
My jazz bass is actually en route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got one, he's got one, he's got one. We've all got one of
My
these.
bass is on way.
This is my one. And this is all that's left now of the Square, apart from a couple of bricks and some chunks of stage. How fucking
t-shirts. I've actually got wristbands at home.
And the memories and the joy in our hearts. Listen, we're not closing down again. Listen, people saying, Pam, it's like losing the Square all over again. Going to miss you. Go look. It's just drop us a line. We're all your friends on Facebook anyway. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for encouraging us to do this. We'll stick something out on the Facebook when we're doing the next one. Anyhow, Top Loader versus Wheatus. Your winner this evening is. Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye. Wave your hands. Wave your hands, Richard. Wave your hands.
Oh, I was just watching you getting your one out. I missed you getting.
To discover a little something to make me sweeter. Oh, they're afraid from breaking my heart. I'm so in love with you. I'll be forever you. And that you give me no reason. You know you're making me work so hard.